Section 136 of the Lincoln Storybook by Henry L. Williams. The Tree Toad and Timotheus. Read for LibriVox.org by David Lawrence. The Tree Toad and Timotheus. In the early days when Abraham Lincoln went with his pioneer father to settle in wild Indiana, the chief diversion of the rude inhabitants was from the preaching of the traveling pastors. They were singular devotees whose sincerity redeemed all their flaws of ignorance, illiteracy, and violence. Abraham, with his inherent proneness toward imitation of oratory, used to take them off, to the hilarity of the laboring men who formed his first audiences. Out of his recollections came this tale, which he liked to act out with all the quaint tones and gestures the subject demanded. The itinerant ranters held out at a schoolhouse near Lincoln's cabin, but in fine weather preferred the academy, as the Platoists would say, what was left of an oak grove, only one tree being spared, making a pulpit with leafy canopy for the exhorter. This man was a hard-shell Baptist, commonly imperturbable to outside signs and doings when the Spirit moved him. His demeanor was rigid, and his action angular and restricted. He wore the general attire, coonskin cap or beaver hat, hickory-dyed shirt, breeches loose and held up by plugs or makeshift buttons, as our ancestors attached undergarments to the upper ones by laces and points. The shirt was held by one button in the collar. This dress little mattered, as the leaf screen woven for the occasion hid the lower part of his frame and left a protruding head visible as he leaned forward, standing on a log rolled up for the platform. He gave out the text from Corinthians. Now if Timotheus come, see that he may be with you without fear, for he worketh the work of the law. The following runs, Let no man despise him, etc. As he began his speech, a tree toad that had dropped down out of the tree thought to return to its outlook to see if rain was coming. As the shortest cut, it took the man as a post. Scrambling over his yawning, untanned ankle jack-boots, it slipped under the equally yawning blue jeans. He commenced to scale the legs as the preacher became conscious of the invasion. So while spooning out the text, he made a grab at the creature, which might be a centipede for all he knew, and then, as it ascended, and his voice ascended a note or two, with the words, Be without fear, he slapped still higher. Then, still speaking, but fearsomely animated, he clutched frantically, but always a leetle behindhand, at the unknown monster which now reached the imprisoning neckband. Here he tore at the button, the divine, not the newt, and broke it free. As he finally yelled, sticking to the sermon as to the hunt, Worketh the work of the law. An old dame in among the amazed congregation rose and shrieked out, Well, if you represent Timotheus, and that is working for the law, then I'm done with the apostles. End of section 136. This recording is in the public domain. Recording by David Lawrence in Brampton, Ontario, December 19, 2008.